In orbit, a small spacecraft began to spin faster and faster, once every second. Inside, two astronauts felt their vision start to blur and gray at the edges. One of them was a civilian test pilot named Neil Armstrong. It was March 1966, and the United States was racing to master the skills needed to reach the moon. Before anyone could land there, they had to learn to do something never done before: join two spacecraft together in orbit. Welcome to Solar Hour, where we uncover the strangest, most dangerous, and most astonishing stories our solar system has to offer. That was the job of Gemini 8, crewed by command pilot Neil Armstrong and pilot David Scott. Their target was an unmanned rocket stage called the Aegina, launched separately and waiting in orbit. The plan was to catch it, dock with it, and prove that two vehicles could become one, hundreds of miles up. Gemini 8 launched cleanly and spent hours slowly chasing the Aegina across the sky. After a careful approach, Armstrong eased the two craft together until they clicked into place. It was the first docking of two spacecraft in history, a milestone essential to any moon landing. Mission Control was thrilled. Then, out of radio contact over a gap in the tracking network, things began to go wrong. The joined spacecraft slowly started to roll, tilting when it should have held steady. Armstrong used his thrusters to correct it, and the roll stopped. Minutes later, it started again. Suspecting the Aegina's controls were at fault, the crew made the call to undock and back away. But the moment they separated, the spin got dramatically worse. The problem wasn't the Aegina at all. One of Gemini's own thrusters had stuck, firing continuously. Free of the heavier Aegina, the lighter Gemini capsule whipped around faster and faster. The rate climbed toward one full rotation every second, hard enough to blur the astronaut's sight. At that speed, the next danger was blackout, and an unconscious crew would have no way to recover. Armstrong made a decision that went against training. He shut the main maneuvering system down entirely. Then he reached for the separate set of thrusters meant only for re-entry and used them to fight the spin. Slowly, the rotation bled away and the spacecraft steadied under his hands. But the rule was strict. Once the re-entry thrusters were used, the mission had to come home immediately. There simply wasn't enough of that fuel left to risk staying in orbit. The record-setting mission was over almost before it began, cut short by a jammed valve the size of a thumb. Gemini 8 fired its retro rockets and dropped toward an emergency landing zone in the Pacific. The crew splashed down safely, shaken but unharmed, after less than 11 hours in space. Armstrong was quietly criticized by some at the time, until the data showed he'd done everything right. He had diagnosed a lethal problem and solved it in seconds, with the ground unable to help. 3 years later, that same calm under pressure would carry him down to the surface of the moon. Gemini 8 is often overshadowed by what came after. But it may be the flight that proved he was ready.